I'm here with our dear Auntie Cecilia Augustine of Delices Grammar School, LA, Joan, Makunan, Samora, Gabe Christian, our dear friend. How are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
Where were you born and when were you born?
I was born in Carrot, Delices, and I was born, you want the year?
Yeah, year and date.
Really? 1967, April 11.
That's nice, Auntie. So where did you attend school first?
Primary school, Delices Primary School.
And who are your parents?
Julius and Iselin Augustine.
And how many siblings did you have?
4 by my mom and an extra 2.
Okay, what were their names?
Josephine, Desmond, Jefferson, David, Joan.
Okay, and what did your parents do for a
Joy.
living?
Huh?
Joy?
Yeah, Joy.
What did your parents do for a living?
I guess you can say what agriculture slash. Well, my dad used to drive a truck, so he used to carry passengers to and from Rosa.
Well, I mean that was you're quite elevated in the community if you drove a truck, wouldn't you say?
I say yes.
Because how many people in the village had a truck?
I think it was just maybe 2 or 3 of them. I think.
So you must have been from the elite of the village to be the ones with a truck.
Okay, if you say so.
What kind of truck was it? The Bedford truck?
Oh, back then I don't know.
But it was one of those British trucks with a box.
Yes.
The box was made of wood.
Right.
And in the box were benches made of wood.
Correct.
And people would sit on there. And before that was before the Toyota buses and so on.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so he was an agriculturist. What kind of agriculture products would they make?
We had a lot of bananas. We did toluma, cassava farine, and then the regular dashing and stuff.
And toluma is like a
Plantain.
cereal, right?
Yes.
Made from the arrowroot.
Arrowroot, correct.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And when did you take the common entrance?
Oh, what year?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember that. But it was I guess it must have been 79 because
Yes.
after the hurricane, we went to school a little later than the September.
You went to grammar school.
Yes.
And you had a brother there already.
Yes, Desmond.
Desmond. So 78 was when we became independent from Britain. But what do you remember about the British period?
Not too much, really. But it's really, well, since I guess we had family over there, so we always used to get, Christmas time we used to get boxes and stuff like that.
From England?
From England, yeah.
So why were the Dominicans in England?
Why were they? Mm-hmm. Well, they move over there because of all that, what do you call it? They needed workers over there, right? So they got the people from Dominica and other islands, I guess.
To help rebuild England after the war. Mm-hmm. Indeed. So you had aunts and uncles there?
Yes.
And what would they send at Christmas time? What kind of things would they send?
Oh, you get clothes, you get food stuff, you get a lot of stuff.
Would they also
candy, lots of candy.
Do they send money also?
Yeah, they send money. Okay. Yeah, but they also send stuff for the kids.
How important do you think it has been for Dominicans overseas, for Dominicans at home rather, in the way of their relationship with Dominicans overseas? Have you seen that as a positive or negative?
I guess it could be a positive, but it also has a negative to it. I think a lot of the people who went abroad, tried to help their families, and at the same time, I think now it's more the people depending on the people abroad to just send them stuff. But I think beforehand, I think it was a combination.
Yeah.
So I think they try to help their parents and their nieces and nephews and whomever else. So I think it was a plus.
Mm-hmm. What was it like coming to town to go to school?
It was a little different, but I think in our situation, so it was totally different because we didn't have to live with somebody. I think when you live with people, like, board with people, then you probably have a different experience. So we didn't have that. So
did you go home every day?
No. We lived. My aunt had a house, and so we lived in the house.
I see.
Yeah, so it was a little different experience. We were by ourselves.
That was you and
my
Desmond?
My brother, and then my cousin joined us. Mm-hmm. Swinburne joined us, and then Matthias, my other cousin, joined us. So yeah,
And that's the famous Dr. Swinburne Augustine, who later worked for the Environmental Protection Agency
correct.
and made his name during COVID-19
Amen.
as a famous scientist.
Yes.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
So, you went to the grammar school, and what friends did you make at the grammar school? If you can give me any names.
I made lots of friends. Joan Robinson. Wow, Christian now. And
Are you talking about our wife called
Yes.
Bully?
and then Phil Senior, and we had quite a bit of friends. Reginald Blanchard, a lot of them. So
I would like the record to reflect that Joan Robinson, now Joan Christian, is one of Auntie Cece's best friends.
Yes.
And I remember when Joan had her first baby, Samora, Auntie Cece came to stay with us.
correct.
And there's a picture of her and Samora and Joan next to the car that Joan bought.
Yes.
Yes, a red station wagon.
So we've been friends since then, and we'll continue to be friends.
Any special thing about grammar school? Any teachers you remember at the grammar school?
Mr. Christian, right?
Who was he?
He was this tall, lanky guy who was always walking fast. No, but they were great.
Tell me about the other. Tell me about the role. Tell me about the place of Delices in Dominica, because people always say that smart people come from the east.
That's the truth.
And I know there was a family led by a guy called H.L. Christian who came from Delices. He was the Minister of Education in the time you were
Yes.
in elementary school and high school in the beginning.
Yes, and then we had Thomas Etienne, who was also a minister back in the day, and then you had Hesketh Alexander, who was also a minister. So we've had lots of ministers from
Delices.
Yeah.
And then LCDDA was also
That's
the
right,
minister.
yeah.
You know, his son wrote a book called From the Plains of Belvedere. Do you know where Belvedere is?
Yeah, I've been to Belvedere.
Okay, good. Tell me about the different, because you hear about Delices, but I was told that it's made up of different hamlets like Victoria
Yes.
and Point Millard. Tell me about that.
No, it's Daly's, Carib, Laroche, Victoria. And then, of course, you have Point Millard.
Say it again.
Daly's, Carib, Laroche, Victoria.
And Point
Point
Millard.
Millard.
Yes. And how did the people live in those days? How did?
I mean, it was like everybody was just, it was a family. Everybody helped everybody, especially during Christmas time, we would go to different houses and, it's like you go from house to house to house and it's all this food and drink and, it was fun.
What were the special foods that people had at Christmas time in Delices?
They used to make this cow food, the cow tripe and stuff soup. And then they put crackers in there. That was jamming.
Yes,
And
yes.
then they would make a lot of sorrel and ginger beer and, of course, black cake. Rum cake.
Rum cake.
Yes.
Did they make boudin?
Yes.
What is boudin?
Buddha is, I guess they use the blood. It's like a sausage, I guess. Like Americans would think of it as a sausage. They'd use the blood and season it up with onions and chive and all these other condiments.
Garlic.
And, make it and then place it into the, whatever you call it.
The intestine.
And then, so that was good.
You were also overlooking the Atlantic
Ocean.
Ocean and the channel between Dominica and Martinique.
Martinique, yeah.
Did people come from the French islands?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
In the sense of what? Do they
Would-
come?
yeah, but they come by canoe. People travel.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't privy to it, but
Could
I
you
think-
see? Could you
yes.
see Martinique?
Yes, especially after the hurricane, it was really clear. You could see street lights, and
Yes.
then you could see cars moving around. So
Yeah. So Martinique is so close to Delices, you could actually see streetlights and cars moving along.
yeah, well, I guess it's from the angle from the top. I guess not like Point Millard, but since you're elevated like Carib or Daly's, then yes, you can see it.
And so Martinique is a French territory and Dominica was a British territory. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
And the people spoke English in Delices. But did
Yeah,
they
sure,
also
that's
speak?
all.
Do they speak French?
Yeah, broken French.
Broken French.
Broken French.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
So when did you graduate from the grammar school?
1985.
And when you graduated, what did you do?
In fact, I worked with Winston and Company as an accountant. He was an auditor. He did audits for a lot of the companies like the credit union and other local businesses.
I see.
So I worked with him for I think 2 or 3 years, and then I moved to the States.
Okay, so when you went to the States, where did you go?
I came into New York. I spent about 3 or 4 months in New York, and then I moved to California.
Why did you move to California?
Oh boy, the weather.
Okay. But wasn't it because there's somebody there related to you?
Yes, my uncle,
What is his name?
Uncle Paul.
And
We
Uncle
got to
Paul,
go, yeah.
Uncle Paul went to California in 1957.
Yes.
Okay. And then when you got to California, you studied?
Yes.
What did you study?
I studied accounting. I had an associate's in accounting, a bachelor's in accounting, and a master's in healthcare management.
Outstanding. And you've been working in accounting for how long?
Oh my God, umpteen years.
Indeed. So,
Yes.
Auntie, you've been here with us for a little bit in Maryland and Washington, D.C. for the Christmas, Thanksgiving and early Christmas holiday. Any thoughts on your trip?
Oh, I had a great time. Thank you for hosting me. I had a wonderful time with my friend Joan and also with the rest of the family. And we visited the office. Great atmosphere, great people, and I had a wonderful time. Thank you so much.
Auntie, we want to say we love you very much,
Love you
and
too.
we are happy having you. You took 20 years before you came here, but don't make it another 20 years.
No. Hopefully, I'll get back sooner than we think.
Merry Christmas and a Happy
Thank
New
you.
Year.
Same to you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.